is what's it called, and we're raising the
doing things.
today, haven't we?
We've also got
I'll leave there. So what else, Karen?
We've sort of identified that there are lots of different groups in the area that didn't talk to each other, but somehow I feel that the Million has facilitated them their coming together to join forces almost, however you want to put that.
I think the number of groups have expanded, haven't they?
So the Million.
Well, there are lots of groups,
Yeah.
but I think somehow we've brought it to the fore that
They're more
making them
aware and willing to help each other.
Yeah. So identify.
interrelate with one another.
ability to change when things not working, i.e. moved toddler time back to a facility that worked.
So had you moved it to somewhere else and
They didn't
We
like it.
changed it to a different location because we
It
could
was
get the
free.
hall for free. We thought that would help us to sustain it because we weren't paying for the location. The location didn't work.
okay.
And then that was evident because they got their comments and then not as many people comments.
Right,
So take-ins
okay.
went down about £40 a session.
Ramsey Million and Ramsey Neighbourhoods Trust are now seen as the go people for ideas and help.
And we put that on that one.
Yeah.
How do you know that? What tells you
People
that?
keep coming to us.
What kinds of people?
Everybody.
Right, okay. So
Smaller-
individuals,
Smaller
groups.
committees who need help to get events off the ground,
Yeah.
Good.
and ideas for fundraising and all that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
support really.
And help for
But we get phone calls for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
You know.
But they do see us. It's nice that they see you've done this properly. Well, whatever. Could you help us to do? You know, and
People actually say that, do they?
Yeah.
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 And Carnival asked for help with risk assessments that they'd not done before, and their insurers had asked for it. So they needed support in that way.
The craft fair
Okay,
came to
came to
us
us.
because of our personal liability cover,
Right.
so could we increase it, incorporate and bring in all these
Yeah.
crafters,
Yeah.
so they could have a stall, so.
Yeah.
And some planning people came and talked to us about the town centre, didn't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
They,
Oh,
yeah.
They're doing consultation for the district council as part of their local plan.
They
came
told to come and talk to our
come
MT.
talk to
They
us.
came
very
to-
good.
well, we were the only organisation in Ramsey that they came and spoke to.
Really?
Yeah.
The RNT, it's actually created, Ramsey Million being here, but there's 10 jobs for local people, just in RNT.
How many jobs?
10.
Ten.
We now employ 10.
The
10?
youth, right,
The
the
youth
youth
workers,
workers.
the youth workers.
It's sessional work, and two of that, no, actually one of them's on now, one's going on, that might be number 11.
Okay.
Young people that joined the youth project and then recruited as volunteers have been trained up and are now coming through as staff.
What's different? Is it about the way you work together?
Everybody
Is it?
feels at ease
Yeah.
and everybody,
Much more comfortable
So what's
in the first
changed
year.
then? Is it?
with the personnel, I think.
and also I think
And some people who are not confident maybe in meetings are getting better and join in.
I think people are more confident doing things on their own, whereas before they would have come back and checked with everybody. And it's okay, people use their initiative, don't they, and do things and come back and feed back to everybody. It is hard bringing new people in because they do feel that there's a group.
Intimidated.
Yeah, there's a group that know what they're doing and where do they fit within it. But we talked about this, didn't we, Jane? Because it is much easier if they start with a project and understand their bit of it,
Yes.
and then they fit in better. Tracy and Bernadette started with toddler time.
Okay.
They understood more about Big Local through that project, and when they came in, they sort of were fine, weren't they? And they said, right, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to do some different stuff now.
Right.
And they've been taking part in us sorting out the next round of the
But
grants.
I do feel the same with the young people who've come through the Crunch project. The money that we've got from the Police Crime Commissioner for them to do bits out in the community will help as well, and then I think they'll fit really well with the partnership.
Because you work together for a period of time, and you actually trust each other to go off. Because at the beginning, everything was, well, you need to report back and you need to check.
And
because
everybody had to make a decision together.
And the first
Yeah.
round of small grants, everybody assessed. And actually, I think that was quite a good thing to do, because it meant that everybody got some experience of it, and they might have decided, oh, I never want to do that again.
The thing we had influence of with the planning department in Huntingdon was about the skate park, because Val had a lot of contact with the planners, but they also felt that there wasn't enough play, whatever the right word is, for that age group in Ramsey. So it was one of their priorities to have a skate park or play facilities for that age group in Ramsey. And the planning officer actually came up with a good idea and worked with the developer to persuade the developer to include the way the green space was allocated on the site, so there would be space for a skate park. So they were actually very
really good. He said that urban designer has gone now, which is a shame, but they've had so much staff change at the district council that's sort of hindered things a bit. But he actually said that when developers came in with their plans for housing on a site, if it looked vaguely reasonable, they would have gone with it. But because we had stipulated what was in our plan and what we needed, and they knew that fitted with the what was needed in the area, they could go back and say, well, we really want to see this from you because da 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 da. And hence, when they were reviewing the local plan, they said, speak to us.
Are there any examples of where the way that you work is influencing and shaping the way that other people work?
Yeah, other villages.
Yeah.
I think looking to youth provision, looking at what they can do, how they can engage with the war boys who came on one of Alison's courses, they can go back and think we can run this out in war boys, and which is another area of problem with antisocial behaviour, young kids bored. They're looking at what they can replicate.
Because that's part of your legacy, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's leaving behind a way of working as much
that
as
is
anything else.
what we were saying about people coming to us and saying, can you give us some advice? And I think that's growing.
Yeah.
I think there's more.
We've also been asked to sit in. There's a meeting on Monday, isn't there? And it's about support for carers.
They want to set up a young carers hub. Really interested in the library, mainly because of all the stuff, because this is a hub of what's going on.
Yeah.
So they're having a meeting here, and we've been asked to attend to give our input. So that's massive.
That's fantastic.
That was the start, really, the heritage groups. We've done it with arts people, haven't we, as well, with the Create. But I think the most important is the key players in the town. So this is getting the town council in, Ramsey Neighbourhood Trust, Ramsey Million. Who else is on working together? The school, the library, all the people with buildings. And, I think with the community building stuff, it has been really helpful having outside consultants coming in as well.
So they've been doing a kind of mapping of the buildings that you've got.
What they're used for, what people want to happen that doesn't already happen, and all of that. And I think that was important, having somebody from outside.
What, because they're seen as a bit more
impartial.
Okay.
And it says skill set as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to accept, you've got to buy in external.
Sure.
But
I mean, it's quite interesting.
If we were doing it just ourselves, there might be people thinking, well, they're doing it for
Biased.
because and trying to take over or.
They've now set up a kickstart in Cambridgeshire. They're going through the process of setting it up in St Ives. St Ives is going to really take off with it. However, I regularly see 2 bikes going to Huntingdon every day when I'm going to work. So there are people out on the bikes. It just was not great for us for the fact where we are, because we thought we would be doing the Peterborough-Ramsey connection and the roads just didn't allow for it. There's too many accidents. Lots of parents don't want their young people on mopeds. And it's a lesson learned. But Huntingdon, St Ives, this side of it, where better roads.
The other thing was our money was restricted to our big local area. So we were trying, and with the 5 bikes, they could have had people from St Ives or wherever that were interested, But we'd said we needed people from Ramsey Parish on our bikes. So they had bikes sitting there that weren't out.
Okay.
So them coming into the area and covering a much wider area makes the scheme more sustainable for Cambridgeshire without us needing to restrict it to Ramsey Parish.
And it also
So
means that it
people-
wouldn't have come had we have not brought it in.
Yeah.
Because we tried it here, it's made other people sit up and listen and think, or look and say, we could do that here.
We just
So
couldn't do
perhaps
what Kickstart
help
could
them
do.
in the long term.
It's not a failure.
No,
by any
no,
stretch.
I
It's
don't-
just,
I don't-
it's just
I think it's
different to how we
positive.
anticipated it.
Yeah, but you've negotiated that change with them,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah,
about
I
how
mean,
it's delivered.
if somebody came to us and said, have you ever thought about doing hiring mopeds, we could say, well, actually, we'll have a chat with you about that.
Yes.
And we've got a wealth of experience,
Absolutely.
but then again, they might have something different that we hadn't thought of. You just don't know.
A credit union is an incredibly useful tool for people who can't budget, because you can set up your jam jar accounts and they pay in so much a week, or you have all your benefits paid in there. But the money comes out and goes to the different bills first and so on. So Life Amid Debt, who work, is a small charity works in St Neots that I do some work for, recruited a volunteer here in Ramsey.
Okay.
So he sits in with Job Search and the Phoenix Project and refers people through to the credit union, and we're going to do various things like a booklet and so on that he's going to go and pump around all the places where people might want to go, and we'll have something about Neighbourhood Trust and something about Job Search, Phoenix, and then something about LAD and something about the credit union all in one little booklet thing.
It was quite interesting as well when Sally and Sarah did the consultation around the indoor space. That the things that they were saying are fine now, which is the stuff for the young children, that they thought was okay, that's really because we've done the things for them.
Yeah.
And we saw them as sort of pilot sessions, didn't we, once a month? But it's made them, feel that there's more for their families.
And they Leisure Centre run soft play now, didn't they? That they
Yeah.
started doing it because we started it, and they run it commercially, but it's something that wasn't there before that is there now.
Yeah. In the community initially, it was the million, can buy this, can buy that.
Like a grant pot, really.
Yes, yeah, and we could have something. And now they do understand that it's more about the community bringing about things, and that sustainability is important. So it's like Bosch, which took quite a bit of money the first year, and then the money that's put in from Ramsey Million has reduced, and people realise that if they want it to continue, money's got to come from somewhere, because that one's never going to be totally sustainable. So they just seem to understand that more. It was like Kickstart money.
Before we had big local, Ramsey Million, and everything else that followed, I never saw another organisation promoting Ramsey the way it's done now. And I've lived here 18 years, and I've lived in the town centre 18 years, so I do know a little bit. On Craft Day, the Saturday, I went round every store bar except one to ask how it all went, how was it going. One store had to bring in extra staff. They were
Very
all
good.
tills were ringing non-stop, really busy, so that's brilliant.
Windmill Bakery had to stay open longer than normal.
Yeah, it was just really busy. Knock-on effect for the LTO in Ramsey, upskilling jobs, extra funding. When this all started, we had one person on the payroll, so now we've got 11th is about to go on. So
So it's building your organisation and the
and
capacity
it's
of
all
your
local
organisation.
people.
I would like to see is, at the moment we have the partnership and RNT, but the aims are very, very similar. But I would see at the end that RNT is a group that can continue as a development trust or whatever for the town, that's got a good, solid base and perhaps some financial assets behind it, so that the work that we've been doing can continue.
I think I'd like to see, and I think it's doable, it's just how you do it, is all our community groups, all our local historics, all our heritage, there's a core set of volunteers that are all of the same age. And that we need some youth, we need some younger families, younger people to come in and take it on, otherwise it'll die.
I think you'll get, as people get to retiring age, they start
New
doing
ones start
that.
going.
Yeah.
I think you can't expect young families to do a lot of
No.
volunteering. They've got mortgages to pay, and it's not like when my grandmother was around and women didn't work, and people like my grandmother did tons and tons of volunteering.
But
That's
that's
the
the
thing.
core thing that
Yeah.
underpins everything,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
But
the
I-
volunteer base.
Absolutely.
And I think as long as that carries on and we can carry on getting people.
The trouble is though, it's all right if you do retire late 50s, early
Yeah.
60s.
So now people are not retiring until
But
their 70s.
unfortunately, because of the government, the retirement age is going up and up and up. So
Tell
they're
me
going to
about
be
it.
in their 70s and 80s before they're free to do anything.
We need to sell volunteering as a much more healthy lifestyle to younger families, because there's an awful lot of them, and they don't even go to things at the school, their own kids' school, to try and raise money for extras and things. So it's trying to get people to come out with the kids and do something, anything.
Is it just the way social society is moving? Because when women didn't go out to work, they were the backbone of a lot of activities in villages and communities and keeping those going. Now, as we say, it's those people are the ones that the early retirees, because they were used to, they've had that culture in their lives of their parents or grandparents volunteering and doing things. So they were used to it. Whereas now, with all these technical gizmos that everybody has stuck to their ears and everything else, they've become more insular again. And they don't actually connect with one another apart from through this machine. And is that why we're not getting the volunteers?
I take that on board, but then on Saturday, toddler time, very low start up, and we were all stood there thinking, oh, are we going to get people? Two of the dads got on their phones, ringing all their friends, the next minute we were inundated. So modern technology
it
can work either way. And maybe that is the way that you think about that. We've got a social media platform that we probably need to get a little bit smarter how we use it.
People do have expectations of what might happen from £1 million, don't they? And have you had to manage those expectations in any kind of way?
I
Or?
don't think we
I
have
think we did in the beginning, but
Because they wanted
it's
a
a whole
thing.
subject that has dropped off, really, hasn't it? They're just kind of
I think there's
learning to
People
go
are
with what we're
identifying.
doing.
Things are happening. They're seeing things happening. The biggest thing I think was the school activities, the summer stuff. So they identify with Bosch, identify with Crunch. They know the youth workers, and that's a massive part in Ramsey. And a lot of all that early stuff we had, we had lots of arguments about admin money. From councillors who just thought we were all getting jobs out of it.
Yeah.
So we had an awful lot of negativity.
The grants were a very good quick win.
Yeah.
Because they saw money in the community for things that they'd asked for themselves, not for things that we'd
Yeah.
do.
I think,
I think the word millions dropped into the background, and it's Ramsey Partnership.
yeah.
Really?
There was
There were
something, I
people
think,
talking about Ramsey Millions in the plural,
Millions,
don't they?
that's what we
I think we have a really good, the community lady at Tesco's, Belinda, who's quite new in post, isn't she, with Tesco's? But she's now said, as part of her role, she's coming to toddler time every week.
Great.
So, of course, on Saturday, she's signing people up and taking the subs, with all logoed up with Tesco's. So all of a sudden, we've got Ramsey, Val's there with a Ramsey Million badge. I was there, Ramsey Neighbourhood Trust. It sort of sends out a message.
Denise was there from the Children's Centre.
Yeah,